Now that our Firebase is integrated correctly in our project, we are going to start building the application by building the different sections. Before we do that, we are going to set up the Angular material and Bootstrap. So we're going to add the Angular material to our project and install Bootstrap and integrate it within our Angular JSON. After that, we're going to work on the different sections, starting by building the authentication module, which contains the login, sign up, forms, and we're going to work on the dashboard, which is the hidden part of our application, and users are not allowed to go to that section until they log in. Also, we're going to work on the authentication guard, which guards the route for us. So if you were to navigate to the dashboard without login, you are not going to be allowed, and it will be redirecting you to the sign-in form or the sign-up form, if you. We will start by installing the Bootstrap. So I'll just clear the screen here and then say npm install Bootstrap. Bootstrap is very popular JS and CSS library. So now it's installed and it's going to be located under Node Modules Bootstrap. So we are going to integrate that within our configuration or our AngularJS JSON configuration file. To do that, you just go to, this is the distribution of the Bootstrap. So you have the CSS file here, and then you have the GS file. We're going to route to those two files under my Angular JSON file, which is this guy here. So first you go to your build and then locate the styles and just add that location. So you just say node module, then Bootstrap, dist CSS Bootstrap min.css, so the minimized version. Then under script, we're going to do the same thing. So we're going to locate the JS file this time under the distribution. It's going to be called bootstrap min.js. So these are the two files that we need to set up into our Angular JSON under build, so that when I start the application, it will take into consideration these two files. After that, we're going to configure the material or Angular material. And to do that, you just need to navigate to Angular material, and it will show you how to get started. So you just click here, then click on get started. Then it will show you how to install. So you just need to use this command here to add Angular material to our project. So just launch that command. It will ask a couple of questions. So you would like to proceed, you say yes. Then you have to choose what library, CSS or SASS or whatever engine or styling engine you'd like to use. So first you choose the theme, so I'll stick to the default one. Then you'll use the typography, so you can say no or yes, doesn't matter, so you can say no. Then I'll have to include the animations, I'll say yes, and that's it. So this is going to be my configuration of my Angular material. So I'm ready to use these two libraries, the Bootstrap and Angular material, to build our application. So our application will be very simple. So we will have the authentication components, and we will have another section, which is the dashboard, in which we're going to have our own, let's say, hidden or restricted areas or restricted sections. And we will have a welcome page that welcomes the user and asks the user to log in or sign up. So we're going to start building that. The first thing we need to do is to go to app under src. Then we are going to add a folder called components. And under that folder, we are going to start adding our modules, or those modules will host components in them. So the first component we'd like to start with is the welcome page, let's say. So I'll go and open the integrated terminal within the component folder and start building or creating the first component. ng generate a component, and I will call it welcome, let's say, page. This is going to be the main page that the user face when they go to the application. So that's it. Now I'll go and route to that page, and we are going to start the application to see that welcome page at least. So by default, when the user navigate to the URL of the application, I would like to redirect the user to the welcome page. So now I'm going to start the application. Just going to go back to the root and then say npm start. And while it starts, I will do some cleanup in the application. So I'll take this link and open it in my browser. Just go here, then open that link. As you can see, this is the default templates of Angular, and I'm going to remove it for now just to see that it works. So I'll just go ahead and remove all these text because we don't need them. So to do that, you just go to the app component.html. Then you go ahead and remove everything. Just keep this router outlet there, so that's where the component will be rendered. So now if I go back, I will see that my application is actually welcome page works. So this is the welcome page that we have created, or the component that we have created, and we can start adding the other components into the component folder. So I'll just do some configuration here. So I'd like my application to be a little distance from the edges. So I'll just add a div class padding level 2, which is P2 in Bootstrap. And then that's it. That's my configuration. So it will be just, there is a little space in all edges. And then I'm going to start building the welcome page, which is going to welcome the user and ask them to log in or to sign up in order to use the application. So let's head over to the welcome page and change the text here to ask the user to log in and sign up. So we will say H1, let's say, welcome to our app. And then we're going to say P, please sign in or sign up to start using our application. And I'll paste this inside a div and put it in the center. Div class text center, just a Bootstrap class, and I'm going to place it in the center here. And of course I'll have some margin, mt margin top equal to 5, and then a p top or padding top equal to 5. So this is like these are level 5 margin and level 5 top padding on the top, because mt represents margin top and pt represent p padding top. These are two Bootstrap classes. If I go back, I can see that my application is placed in center, and on top you have some margin and some padding. So probably going to introduce an image here to make to show the Firebase icon. I already have downloaded the image, and it's this image here that we're going to use on top of that title. So I'll just take this image and paste it into the root of my application. I'll just head to this assets and then go there and just add a new folder there to call it images, and I'll paste my image there. So this is going to be used to on top of my my titles or all my components, at least for the login section. So I'll just go here and say image src equal to assets slash images slash firebase dot png, and then I'm going to set the width of that image to be 200, so to make it small, or maybe 250. Then I'm going to add a margin bottom of level 3 MB-3. So this gives the a margin after the image before we get to the title. So we'll check that. As you can see, this is my application, so it's nice and clean. So now we're going to add two buttons to allow the user to log in or to sign up. And to do that, first we need to get the button module to our app module, and to do that you just head to Angular material components, then go to the button. You need to install or to import this library. So I'll just take this and then go to my app module and import it there. We needed to have some cool buttons there. So like these ones, I'll just switch to 17. And then you will have buttons like this, or maybe 16 I think I'm using. So if I go back to components, you'll have these kind of buttons. So I'll go and use or add 2 buttons to this component. The first one would be button, not raised button, and then I will call it sign in, and another button to sign up. So first we'll route this to, so we'll create the UI first, and then we're going to add the routing to route 2 different components, like sign in component and sign up component. I'll make this primary, the color look different, and then let's see the result. As you can see, you have sign in and sign up, so you need to either sign in or sign up to use the application. I'll just have a little margin after the first button, so I'll just class m end equal to level 2. So that's it. Now our first, let's say, page is ready to go. So we're going to build the authentication section by adding a new module called auth, and then we're going to have another module to handle the backend or the back scene, which is restricted for public users. So you need to log in to access that section, which is called dashboard. And to do that, we're going to create 2 new modules to this folder. So I go back and then generate new modules right now. So I'll say ng generate module, and then I'm going to call it auth, and then I have routing for that module. So this is my authentication module, and then I'm creating a new dashboard module. So the auth module will take care of the components related to the authentication, like the sign in, sign up, password, forget password, and then the dashboard will contain all components that are restricted for public users. So now I will add some components. So my modules are added here, so I can ignore this little thing so that it won't show that there is an error. I'll just ignore that. Then I go to my auth module and add 2 or 3 components there, and I'll add another component under the dashboard, and this will be guarded, and this will be the public. So any user can access this section, but not any user. So only logged on user will have access to this section, let's say. So I'll go ahead and create some components there. So ngGC for ng generate component, and I'll say auth, then sign in. So this is my sign in component. It's added under the auth and it's linked to the auth module, and then I'll have sign up. Then I'll have forget password. So these are the main components that I will need to handle authentication. That's it. So now I will add a component under the dashboard, which is going to be called home, let's say, dashboard home. I'll call it home. So this is my main page, and it's not accessible to everyone. It's accessible to logged in user only. So let's create that. Now I'm going to handle the routing to the modules and the routing inside the modules. So to handle routing into the module, you just need to come here and then add a new routing. I will call it auth this time for authentication. So the auth will take me to the authentication module. So it's a function. We need to import the module from the component auth, and then auth module. Then we load the children of that module. So load m, which is module, auth module. So we are going to load the children of the auth module. Now I'm going to add the same thing for the dashboard, And later on, we are going to introduce the guard or the authentication guard for this dashboard, so it will be restricted for public users. So only users who are authenticated already can access this section, and that's through the authentication guard. We'll see how to do it. So now my routing to the both dashboards or both modules is ready. So I'm going to route inside the two modules. The authentication module has some routing, and the dashboard module will have some routing too. So we'll start with the authentication module, and then you go to the authentication routing module. We'll start by path. So by default, I redirect the user to the sign in. So component will be sign in component. Or if the user type auth dash sign in, so to redirect to this, I'll just do the same thing. So both routes takes to the same component. So to know or to understand how the routing is actually working, so we start by the main route or main module, main routing module, and then you see what is in the path. So this is going to be my application domain name or URL, which is localhost 4200 right now. This is my application domain, and then slash auth. Then whatever comes next will be routed to the authentication module, and the authentication module will take care of routing it to whatever component. So when I type auth, it will take me to this module, which is the auth module, and under the auth module I have other routing. So if by default I don't do anything, it will route me to the same sign in component. Or if I type auth slash sign in, it will take me to the same component again, which is the sign in. So let's try this, and we'll see that if I type auth or sign in, auth sign in, it will take me to the same component anyways. So if I say auth, take me to sign in work, and if I type sign in, so this is how routing works, it will always redirect me to the sign in component. So now if I type sign up, since it's not there, it won't work. So you'll have an error in the console that the route is not available. And to do that, we'll have to introduce a new route here to go to that component, which is the sign up component this time. So I'll say sign up component. So this is going to be route me to the sign up component, and I'm going to route right now to the forgot password. And this will take me to the forgot password component. So now my routing for the authentication module is good. I can test all the routes. So I go to auth first. It gives me the sign in component, then the sign in, give me the same component. The sign up will give me the sign up component this time. Sign up is working. And then we will have the forgot password. Route, so it will take me to the forgot password. Now I'm going to do the routing for the dashboard, and we already did that in the main module. So now if I type dashboard, it will redirect me to the dashboard module, and since I don't have any routing, it will fail actually. So I'll say dashboard here. So as you can see, there is nothing because it routes to that module, but the module did not decide what to do with the routes, so I will have to decide. So I'll go to the routing module of the dashboard and say if there is no path or path is empty, there is no slash something, I will just go to the main component, and in this case it's the home component. So now if I go back, you will see that default routing, it goes to the home because I didn't provide anything after the slash. So it will go to the main component within that dashboard module. So those are all the components that we need to have. So we have the welcome page, we have the authentication, sign in, sign up, and forgot password, and we have the restricted area of the dashboard module. Right now it's not restricted yet, so we have to restrict it later once we finish the authentication.